welcome to the Ladies' Room. I'm Judy McDowell, your host, and it's my great pleasure to have with me today Renata Petecka, who is, as you can see, a lovely example of this wonderful company that she has called La Dolce Vita Nutrition.com.
Yes.
Vita Nutrition.com, and she is a certified nutritionist and health coach. So today, you were going to talk to us about superfoods and super green foods in particular, and obviously nuts and seeds and fruits and kale.
Yes.
Which is like all in the news lately. Everybody's talking about kale. So talk to me about kale.
Well, kale is an absolute superfood. It's the best of the best, and nutritionally the highest in nutrients, the lowest in calories, so just the perfect food to eat to get many health benefits like DNA repair. So it's anti-aging.
It repairs your DNA.
Yes, removes
Unbelievable.
toxin from our body. It has strong anti-cancer benefits.
Yeah.
Yes, it's perfect for digestion, for building this great flora in our gut. So kale is basically great for everything. On top of that, it's high in protein and high in calcium.
Isn't it interesting that
Yes.
leafy vegetables can be high in protein? I don't think people understand that.
Yes.
They think if they're vegetarian or pescatarian, they mostly eat vegetables and some fish, that they're getting their protein from their fish, when actually they're getting a lot of protein from their vegetables.
Well, the
That's very
biggest,
cool.
the biggest bound animals on the planet are all
They eat
vegetarians.
grass, right?
So
Right.
elephants and giraffes and
Right.
hippopotamus
True.
and yes.
I don't think people think about those things.
They are not protein deficient, all calcium deficient.
When we eat beef, when we eat meat from a cow, basically the cow's eating the grass. The grass is absorbing the light.
Yes.
It gets stepped down in the grass. It gets stepped down further in the cow, and
Yes.
then we eat that, and we're like 3 times removed from, and we're light beings. We
source.
feed on light.
Yes.
So live foods have the most light,
Yes.
live light. What percentage of your diet would you say should be green food?
Well, eat as much as you can.
Eat as much
To
as you can.
get all those nutrients.
Yeah.
The leafy greens, vegetables, the darker, the more nutritional value.
I think with any food, the more color in the
Yes.
food.
The more phytochemicals.
Yes.
And so, step out and go for the darkest. So kale scores the highest in nutrients, and it's high in vitamin C, E, and K. So
K.
Yes.
You don't get K in a lot of foods.
The highest in K. Actually, people who are on blood thinners, they have to be very careful with eating kale because it has a lot of vitamin K.
Oh.
Yes.
And what does vitamin K do to your blood?
It's thins your blood. It actually
So,
gets
really a person that when the doctor says take an aspirin a day to reduce your risk of a heart attack, they could actually eat kale instead.
No, actually, kale thickens the blood. Yes.
Oh, kale thickens
so
the blood.
it's the reverse process.
Oh.
You don't bleed that much.
Oh, interesting. Huh. So what are we going to do with kale today?
We are going to have kale for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay, I'm getting 3 meals in one show. This is excellent.
Yes, breakfast is very important. So getting the highly nutritious food, the first thing in the morning, the nutrients are absorbed the best. There's no other digestion going on, so the nutrients are absorbed the best. So having a green smoothie in the morning, it's a perfect start for the day.
Right.
It's highly alkalizing, so let's make it quickly.
Okay.
It takes,
And really we should keep our systems alkaline, right?
Yes.
Because that's also very anti-carcinogenic.
yes, that's exactly
Cancers
true.
can't grow in an alkaline environment. So
If you think
excellent.
about acidic environment is something where bacteria grows easily.
Sugar.
Yes.
Sugar loves to grow
Processed food.
bacteria.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are going to mix a cup of water.
Just plain water.
Yes, just plain water. We're going to use banana.
Okay.
And you can use...
Now, isn't banana a little fattening?
Well, it has a lot of nutrients too, and we are not going to use any sweeteners in this
Right.
smoothie. So we are going to use banana to sweeten it.
Right.
But banana is also high in potassium and magnesium.
Potassium.
So, yes.
If you get cramps in your toes or your calves at night when you're sleeping, it's a lack of potassium. So you need to eat raisins, bananas, things like that
They're great.
with a lot of potassium.
I'm going to use 1 clementine. And
All right.
now I would like to show you how to prepare your kale, because the middle part, the
stalk?
stem, is kind of bitter. So we're going to remove it. You're just going to, yes,
Easy
press
as pie.
and use the leaf. And there are
Do you want me to do a
different
couple
kinds,
more while you're doing it?
Sure, different kinds of kale, and kale is uplifting energy. It's so it's great for fighting depression. Yes.
Huh.
Uplifting, yes. So it's energetics of food. I'm going to also use some spinach.
Yay, we love spinach.
Yes.
Dr. Oz says to eat spinach every day. But you know what? They're now more touting kale than spinach even,
Yes.
because it's better even
Kale.
than spinach.
Kale has a great PR.
Yeah.
Great PR.
Yeah.
People are more and more aware of the
Yeah.
health benefits.
And it's so inexpensive. You can go to BJ's in Riverhead or Stop and Shop, and BJ's has big bags of kale. I don't know what you think of it, because it's not organic, obviously, but it's already all chopped up in the bag, $1.50. $1.50 for a big
expensive.
bag.
Yes.
And really, we eat a lot of kale. We saute onion and garlic and throw the kale in, and in like 4 minutes, you've got this delicious kale that you can serve on quinoa or brown rice. And $1.50, and you get like 3 big meals out of it. So it's very economical. Do you want more kale in there? Or?
No, I think we are good, because what I would suggest that you start slower to get your taste buds adjust to the taste of kale. In the beginning, kale can be hard, so I would suggest that you start with a smaller amount and you use more and more each day.
So then you can make this lovely flower arrangement
Yes.
out of the rest of the kale.
And use it. Actually,
No, it looks so beautiful.
Actually, we are going to use some of this kale and get it steamed, because we are going to make a side dish
Okay.
of kale, steamed kale. So
Okay.
if you can help me
I will.
and get some of this kale,
Do I just rip it up, or do I also take the stems out?
You have to take the stems
Okay.
out. I'm going to use some of the kale I have here. And what I have here is about 1 inch of water and the steaming basket. And I'm going to put my kale here.
Okay. What really surprised me the first time, because you actually taught me about putting kale in smoothies. And most people, I think, when they're making a smoothie and they put vegetables or carrots or something in it, you wind up with a lot of pulpy, thick stuff. Kale just immediately turns to liquid.
Yes.
There's no pulp left in the smoothie.
Yes, and this
And
is...
that's really surprising.
And the blending the kale is very important, because when you cut the membrane of the cell, that's when the nutrients are released,
Right.
and that's when they can be absorbed by your body.
Are
Yes, so
they,
it's very important.
Do you lose any nutrients from cooking it? I mean, steaming is very quick and probably the best way to cook any vegetable without losing flavor. But does it kill any of the nutrients when you cook it?
Yes, the heat-sensitive nutrients can be removed, but remember, there is still nutritional value. We are going to
Sure.
simmer it slowly, so it's a slow process. And
Want to stick this little bit in?
yes, the eating raw leafy green vegetables and any vegetables is the best way.
Yeah.
But you know, soups, stews, steamed vegetables are great as well.
Hey, get vegetables any way you can, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So really, as long as I can ever remember, and I owned a health food store in 1971 in New York City. And back then, all of the books and all the old writers, they all said 75% of your diet should be raw. And it's still the same, hasn't changed.
No.
You want to turn that on?
Yes,
I'll sing and dance while you do it.
I am going to use also some fats with our smoothie because some of the vitamins are fat soluble. So it's great to combine our smoothie with some healthy fats. And flax seeds are the best. They are high in omega-3 fats, and this way we can absorb all the fat soluble nutrients.
Okay, so
About the tablespoon.
we always buy the flaxseed in the seeds and then put them in a grinder, like a coffee grinder. But then we get too lazy to do it. And so the flaxseed just sits in a container in the cabinet and we never use it. How long do they stay fresh if you buy them pre-ground like that? And are they as good if they're pre-ground?
They're excellent. You have to keep seeds in the refrigerator.
We didn't.
The temperature is very important.
Yeah.
So you can buy them ground and have them ready to go, but keep them in the refrigerator.
And use them every day.
Yes,
So that you,
at
every...
least tablespoon a day. Yes, they are great to remove cholesterol. They are
You get
high
so
in
thin.
fiber.
Yeah, it really keeps everything moving, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So let me
Yes,
start the
it's a
smoothie.
Start the smoothie. It's really key to stay thin. That I don't think we can talk over that, so I'll just dance. I don't know how. Looking beautiful.
Voila.
Looking beautiful. Yay. Oh, we need glasses. Let me get some glasses. Forget which cabinet they're in. We don't want wine glasses. We want these.
Perfect. And look how beautiful, green, bright
It
this
is
smoothie
really
is.
beautiful. It's interesting that doctors say that, you know, animals have all their beautiful feathers and their beautiful colors on the outside. If you've looked at some of those monkeys with the beautiful, they look like painted masks. Doctors say that human beings have all the color on the inside. Like our organs are all paisley colors and bright colors and
Interesting.
it is interesting, isn't
Very.
it? So we need these colors to keep the color going.
The colors in the plant foods are called phytochemicals, and
Right.
they are responsible for different body functions. So we should eat as much green
Cheers.
as colorful vegetables.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers to good health.
These are delicious. Try one tomorrow. That's great.
Excellent.
That's great. So this was a banana, some mango, frozen mango.
Yes, frozen mango.
So where do you get the frozen mango? Anywhere?
Any store, most of the stores have the frozen mango. You can also freeze yourself, but I think that's
Yeah.
a lot of work.
Yeah. People are lazy. I think people think that eating healthy is too much work, too much preparation, takes too much time, but it really doesn't.
No,
Really
but it's
doesn't.
also the commitment to yourself and to your health that you have to make. That is very important. So I tell my
true.
clients, just stock up your freezer. Get all those wonderful frozen fruits so you don't have to buy it all the
Right,
time. And in the
right.
season, they are less
And they
expensive.
they freeze so well.
Yes.
And blueberries are so healthy. Blueberries, and you can buy a big bag of blueberries and then do it in individual
Yes.
baggies, so that each day you just take out one and
Yes.
throw it in your oatmeal or whatever
It's like
you're
one
eating.
perfect serving
Yeah.
size.
I was reading your wonderful brochure, and all of your clients are carrying on effusively about how you've helped their entire family lose weight. They all look so happy and healthy and smiley, and whole families come to you and change their diets, and they love you a lot.
Well, thank you. Nutrition is really a family matter because it's when you are starting to know what the food that you eat, what kind of health benefits it has, you want the whole family to be
Sure.
on board. And kids are great because once they know that something is healthy
Yeah.
and something is not healthy, they are going to
it tastes
go
good.
for the yes. I have like 1 or 2 years old drinking green smoothie.
Right,
This is amazing.
starting them young is the best thing.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes. Well, they don't get to the point where they're addicted to stuff like sugar and processed foods.
All right.
So starting earlier is, of course, better. But having parents on board and setting the example and eating the food is so important.
Right.
You can't tell your child, well, eat this broccoli because it's
Right,
so
while
good
you're
for
eating
you.
a pizza.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So you have to set the example.
Actually, when I grew up, I don't, my parents didn't do exactly that, but parents didn't really communicate that well with kids. They would just say, do this, and you'd say, why? And they'd say, because I'm your father, and I'm telling you to do it. They didn't explain. But definitely start your children young on healthy organic foods. So important now with these GMOs, everything that's going on
Yes.
with the GMOs. Gosh, I don't remember the name of the film, but for this week, you can watch online free film. Oh, I hope the name comes to me, but if you just put in GMO film, I'm sure it'll come up. But it's all about Monsanto and what they're doing with the GMOs, and it's really terrible stuff.
There is a couple of movies. It's Food Inc. is one, and they're in Hungry for Change. There are a couple of movies that are on the market. You can rent it and watch it because it's important to know. We don't know what's in our food.
Right, and in Europe they have to label the food if there's GMOs in it. And California now has Proposition 33 that's going to be voted on in November. So that's
Very
why now
important.
it's all over the internet. But really important to educate yourself about GMOs and eat organic food. Unfortunately now, all the big corporations are buying up the organic companies. And the way the labeling is now, something only has to be 40% organic to be labeled organic. So you have to be really careful about your food source.
That's
So-
true. That's true.
And talk to people like Renata to find out where to get the good stuff. Yeah, what are we going to do next?
We are going to make a kale salad, and I am going to use some of this beautiful kale leaves that we still have here.
Hey, should I do some more?
I'm just going to use those because I have some of the
Yeah, you
kale
shred. Now,
already.
how did you shred that? You just chopped it?
I'm going to show you.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right.
There's a technique that works very well. I just stuck the leaves
Yeah.
together, and I
Fold it.
yes.
A Martha Stewart trick.
Yes.
That's how I do my chives and my herbs. I fold them.
So it's much easier
And it
to
comes out just like you did it in a mandolin or something,
yes.
right?
So it's like a little chiffonada of kale.
right.
And as I said before, cutting kale and highly nutritious food, leafy greens, is very important because that's what releases the nutrients. So we don't do such a great job with our
Chewing.
teeth. Yes. So preparing the food is very important.
George Osawa, the guy that started macrobiotics, said that every mouthful you should chew 100 times.
That's true.
I think people chew things about 3 or 4 times and then gulp it down.
Yes, very
But
often.
it's really nice to eat slowly and
Enjoy, yes.
yeah, and really like savor the flavor.
Well,
Yeah.
also mindfully. When we are mindful of the process of eating, we just get the best out of it. Sometimes we watch television, we check our phone, we do so many things that we could do later instead of just bringing our attention to the food that we
That's
eat.
one of those things, be here now.
Yes.
When you're eating, eat.
Yes.
When you're washing the dishes, be washing the dishes. Enjoy it.
That's
You know,
true.
whatever you're doing, if you're present in the moment, that's called active meditation. So you're really in an alpha state when you're involved in what you're doing. And if you just bless your food, it becomes prasad, which raises the vibration of the food. So you say, oh, thank you, Kale, for feeding me today.
Yes, that's
Thank you,
true.
Mother Earth.
Also working with clients who are overcoming emotional eating problems, that's very important to bring your attention to the food that we eat. Bring that
Spiritual awareness.
Yes,
The
being
balance,
in the moment.
mind and
Yes.
body. Balance, being in the moment. Yeah.
So let's get back to our salad.
Okay.
So we have the beautiful kale.
Chiffonade.
Yes. And we're going to use a little bit of salt, and salt is going to soften the leaves, because kale is a hard vegetable. So we are going to use also some lemon,
Okay.
and we are going to use some garlic. I love flavorful foods.
Ugh, we love garlic.
Oh, yes.
Garlic is so good for you. If you have a cold or anything, and you eat raw garlic, it just kills all the bacteria.
Oh, the bacteria, yes.
Yeah.
And a little bit of, you can use a little bit of olive oil. Just be mindful. 1 tablespoon of olive oil is 120 calories. So
Really?
use
But they're
it
good calories, though.
sparingly.
It's really good for
And
you.
then you just have to get there with your hands and massage the kale to break it and soften it. So that's what
Now
we
you
are
use
going.
very little lemon juice. I would have thought that
We
you
are
needed a lot
going-
more lemon juice.
We are going to adjust it and see
Okay.
how it tastes.
Okay.
And we can get some more salt, and we can use more lemon juice.
My daughter, when she was in East Hampton High School, had a lot of Latin friends, and they would just rip up the kale, and not so beautifully like that, like the pieces like this. They'd wash it, rip it up, and then just put it in a bowl with salt and lemon and olive oil, and they ate it as an appetizer. They would just pick out the leaves and just eat it as an appetizer.
Great
They'd
idea.
Sit around the table and just
Great
eat.
idea.
Yeah.
So you can adjust the
Boy, that's
taste,
amazing how that absorbed
right?
that little tiny bit of olive oil and lemon. Amazing.
Let me just rinse my hands and I'll be right
Well,
back.
I want to, I guess, well, I'm sorry. The camera was shooting down and I'm like trying to point it toward the camera, but that's just amazing how it looks.
So then we can use some red pepper. We're going to make Mediterranean kale
Okay,
salad.
and at Christmas time, this especially works well.
Yes, and we are going to use some of pine nuts for
Yummy.
good fats. So less olive oil and use whole foods for the healthy fats. So use nuts and seeds. And I am going to use also some olives. Just a little
cool.
bit.
Green olive,
Yes.
sliced. Okay.
And we're going to
Toss.
give it a little toss. And as I said,
Looks
if
wonderful.
you
I'm
need,
getting a dish.
sure, please.
And I opened the wrong cabinet, as usual. Okay, haven't been here in a while. LTV has
Oh, I
a
have a
wonderful
problem.
kitchen.
It's beautiful. I
Yeah.
love this kitchen.
Yeah. And we love LTV. Everybody is so lovely here.
So would you like a little taste?
Yes, I would, please. Thank you. One for yourself.
Maybe later. Yes.
Okay,
let me
you're going to
just-
eat it later. All right, I'll just put it over
Fantastic.
here. I'm going to eat it now.
Great. Enjoy, please. And
Maybe it'll shut me up for a moment.
I am going to start working on our next dish.
Okay.
Steamed kale with a creamy, dreamy sauce.
Oh,
And I
okay.
think our kale
Well,
is getting...
We have like 2.5 minutes, so
Yes.
let's do that sauce.
Okay, our kale is almost ready.
So do you need
Yes.
a bowl or what?
No, I'm
what do you
going
need?
to transfer it right on the board.
Okay.
And I will just cut it a little bit to release the nutrients once again.
The salad is delicious.
Thank you. And I am going to make a sauce. I'm going to use about 1/4 cup of almonds,
Okay.
1 cup of water, 1/3 of a cup of cashews, raw cashews.
Boy, that's really healthy. Almonds
Yes.
and cashews.
Yes, and I will use also some tahini and tamari and smoked paprika. So let's start with the smoked paprika. That smells so good. It gives it this
Here they
nice and rich flavor.
You need a spoon?
I
the
have a
tahini?
spoon here. We're going to use 3 tablespoons of tamari. 1, 2, and 3. And 1 tablespoon of tahini. It's going to be nice,
Now, tahini
rich.
sesame paste. Is it made from sesame seeds?
Yes, and it's high in calcium. And once again, we're getting those great fats. So let me just use a tiny bit of a mustard, and we are going to blend it all together.
Okay. Okay. Now this is beat the clock. Yeah, don't forget to put the top on it.
Perfect.
Oh, this was so much fun. Dreamy, dreamy. Yay. Looks great. Looks great. And so do you want to put a little on this dish?
Sure.
With my salad? Because I want to taste the creamy, dreamy dressing.
And you can adjust the consistency if you would like to make it more creamy. Just use more cashews.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love cashews. Well, this was so much fun, Renata. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We love having you here. Will you come back really soon?
Of course.
And teach us some more wonderful, healthy kale recipes and whatever you want to do.
They are all wonderful.
LaDolceNutrition.com. Come and see Renata. She will get you. You will wind up looking as beautiful as she does.
Thank you, Judy. It's very kind of you.
It's wonderful having you here. I got to taste the creamy, dreamy dressing.
Please.
It's very hot still. We're still on camera, so we can still talk.
Sure. Tell me how you like it.
Unbelievable.
Yes. You can make it more.
But you find